It's the time of year where people are looking at resolutions. Lots of people have had the resolution to get fit, feeling a bit sluggish. I ate a lot over Christmas. Lots of people did as well. Fads, though, can fade away quickly. They can fade away in a matter of weeks. So how do you do something lasting? We're joined in studio now by Gillian Hynes, who's an expert in weight loss and also the founder of The Body Project and the head trainer at The Body Project. First of all, don't join a gym.
Yeah, well, first of all, good morning.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you both. Absolutely, that's my advice to people, and I suppose that might be a bit controversial. I may have been done screaming down the phone lines at me. But the facts are that 80% of New Year joiners by mid-February will no longer be going to the gym. So really, the odds are stacked against you that it's not the best solution for weight loss and fitness in the new year.
There's a two-pronged approach. You need to actually look at what you're putting into your body as well. What percentage do you align to that? Others say 60%. That's 60% of the battle.
Yeah, do you know what? There's 80-20, 90-10. Yeah. We could all throw all the figures we want out there. But do you know what? I'm going to put my own figure out there. It's 50-50. Because really, the exercise and the diet go hand in hand. They're not divisible. And typically if you're exercising, you're more conscious of what you're eating. If you're eating well, you're more conscious of looking after your body in the main. So they go hand in hand.
The thing about keeping fit is that your head benefits from it. Your headspace benefits from it. But if you're off the circle and trying to make that thing click in the head again, that all the conditions might be right. You might have all of the gear. You might even have the time. But there's just something not clicking in the head to make it happen. Yeah. How do you tackle that?
Do you know what? It does take time. It's not going to happen overnight. You're probably not going to go from the couch potato to loving exercise overnight. It's a bit of a journey and it can take a bit of time, but really it's all about sticking with it. That would be my first point. Just stick with it and also go on a bit of a voyage of discovery. I suppose don't race to the gym. As I said, it's not the solution for most people, and people, I suppose, find it a bit of a sterile environment. They get lost there. They end up on treadmills, boring workouts that yield very little by the way of results. So what you want to do is find something that suits you, and it's an individual thing. For you, it could be indoor wall climbing. For me, it's, doing weights. For someone else, it's just walking on it,
It is important to enjoy fitness, isn't it? Rather than put yourself through punishment twice a week, because then you won't go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the problem as well. When people are, it's back to that gym scenario, they sort of dread it. They're not happy when they're there and they're dying to leave. And actually exercise can become something that's such a wonderful part of your life. It's something that you want to do all of the time and miss when you don't do it, or if you can't do it. So what you're really aiming for is that exercise is fun and not drudgery, and something that you enjoy, not endure. And that's the ultimate goal. And anyone listening today can achieve that if they just stick with it, go on a voyage to discovery in 2015, make it your year to find out what suits you the best.
Tell us about Body Project and the whole ethos behind what you do.
Well, I've been working as a personal trainer for many years. I absolutely love what I do. I love working with my clients. I love seeing their results. It's really rewarding work. In just a number of months ago, I set up a new company. As you said, it's called Body Project. What's different about it is, we specialise in intensive weight loss programs where people would train several times a week. But what makes us very different is we provide healthy meals to our clients, because that's the hardest challenge to people, is actually taking the time, having the know-how, just getting themselves off those junky foods. So it gives them a break away from what they've been doing for quite a long time. And unfortunately, so many of us are eating pretty poor diets. And sometimes we don't even know, how bad the foods we are that we're eating. We're innocently eating foods that we believe to be healthy, but are anything but.
I'm curious, right? Because you handed us a yogurt when
That's
you arrived
right,
in. Now, I have an inclination towards this product.
Okay.
Not to eat it.
You would have an inclination not to eat it.
And the
but
reason
it's a nice
being,
healthy yogurt.
No, it's not. The reason being sugar content.
Yeah, but
is
you know
that
what?
right?
You know what? What I brought this in for was
sugar's the enemy.
No, that's like someone saying when you're having a glass of wine, you're having 6 teaspoons of sugar.
How much sugar's in this?
Tell us. I don't know.
I reckon there's
grams of sugar.
There's 10 grams, right? Which is 4 grams per teaspoonful.
11 grams.
So 11 you're talking nearly 3 teaspoonfuls of sugar in this tiny thing.
Yes, exactly. But the main point of this, so when you're looking at eating non-processed foods, which is what I recommend, okay, the 2 rules of thumb. You ask yourself first, would your great-grandmother recognise it as a food? Now, my great-granny would probably recognise this as a food. So it passes the first part of the test.
Yeah.
But when I look a little bit more closely, and this is what I get my clients to do, look at the list of ingredients. I recognise rhubarb. I know what yogurt is. I know what whipping cream is. I know what water is, sugar. Pork gelatine, I don't know what that is.
That's pigs.
Pig something.
Gelatin.
Anthocyanins, guar gum, stabilizer. These are processed foods. When you don't really know what something is, when you can't picture it, there's a problem. you shouldn't be eating it.
The thing I look at for everything is sugars, and it's amazing.
And that is the
But it's amazing. Say if you take boxes of cereal, one aisle in the grocery market, and the differences between some and then between some that are okay. Yeah, you don't have time to make porridge every morning.
Yeah.
But this is more acceptable than that one to the left that has tons of sugar in it.
Do you know what? Cereal is a bit of a sliding scale, I have to be honest with you, starting from, average to kind of poor, middling to really appalling. So, they're all on the scale of not so good. They're a bit of a dead food. So, that's a whole, I suppose, another story. But
just come in a bit closer to the microphone.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Cereal, look, that's not the best food anyway, but I suppose my point is, I'd just say to your listeners, look at the foods that you're eating, examine them a little bit more closely. Don't just assume they're okay because they seem to be kind of a healthy food.
But some of those porridge things, the porridge and sachet things that have these little red bits in them, they're loaded with sugar as well.
100%.
The sugar in them is amazing, how high it is.
And that is the major culprit. And make no mistake, the major culprit in our weight problems internationally and nationally, and we have a serious crisis in our hands, as we all know, but it is due to the sugars that we're eating. It's due to the profile of foods that we have started to eat in the last 20 to 30 years, which is, quite frankly, pretty disgraceful. And it's really not our fault. We're being fooled, marketing being shoved down our throats, and foods we think are healthy and are anything but. Steer clear.
Ivan mentioned a good wine. A good, nice bottle of Merlot.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Where
I
do
like
you
a bit
stand?
of wine myself sometimes.
Yeah,
That's okay.
There's very few wines I don't like. Even the ones Deirdre doesn't like, I like them all.
So not discerning when it comes to your wines.
No, I like every type of Sauvignon and every type of Chianti I like. I like pints of Guinness and I like cans of cider as well.
So you have a cynic here in terms of fitness. Because he's looking at me since I've mentioned sugar.
Well, sorry, no, my issue with Chris is, Chris actually needs to put on a stone and weight. He's like a Biafran going around. He's starving. He's as thin as a stick. And for him to be going on about weight loss and he's worried about a spoon of sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
But the reality is, and Chris is slim... Chris is actually...
He's starvation candidate.
I'm not starvation at all.
I don't want to get now into, everyone analysing each other's bodies in here, I suppose. But Chris actually is in better shape than most guys and men that I would see and
of course he is.
Because
he's neurotic about it.
We're not supposed to have rolls of fat. We're not supposed to have extra padding. That is the reality. There's no famine coming down the track so far as I'm aware. We don't need it. And there is a bit of a mixed perception on what's actually healthy anymore.
But you see, you're giving me hassle, right?
He's
Yeah.
30, I'm 55. At 55...
Don't write yourself off, Ivan. Don't write yourself off.
A lot of people
There's still hope.
Gillian.
I swear to God, even for you.
So what age are you? I mean, like, the fact of the matter is that as you get older, you get more chilled out about this.
No, that's not true. You don't eat breakfast. You don't eat in daylight hours. I eat a lot more food than you.
No, but you work it off.
Yeah, on the bike.
Doing what? I don't know. But anyway.
Cycling to work, Chris,
Gillian,
and hats off to you for that.
You have come up against your toughest challenge ever.
No, this is a walk in the park.
Go on. So what would you do to fix Ivan?
Oh God, where to begin?
I know you. So don't eat, don't drink, and work out 5 times a week.
Well, I suppose we can all joke about it and say, "Oh God, people were health freaks, people who actually look after themselves." But the reality is, human beings were supposed to be lean, mean, fighting machines. We're not supposed to be sitting at desks. We're not supposed to be sitting at desks all day long.
Are getting out of here alive. We're all going to die anyway.
Absolutely, but
you may as well enjoy
live
it while
a
you're
long,
here.
healthy life, looking good. Look good naked, Ivan.
Yeah, but don't show us.
I get up in the dark. I get up in the dark at
Gillian,
3 in the morning.
we never actually answered the alcohol question. Where do you stand on alcohol?
Do you know what? Listen, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to say I don't drink. I do occasionally drink. I don't tend to overdrink. It's those days have long since passed, thank God. And I don't tell my clients that they can't drink either. It's more, I suppose, looking at moderation around it. It is fattening. It's also demotivating. I know, you have those 2 or 3 drinks on a Wednesday night. You're tired the next day. You're reaching for more sugary
let's have a
food.
quarter pounder and chips.
Exactly. And so I suppose it's the whole picture around alcohol that's a problem, not just the alcohol in and of itself, but the fact that it's quite demotivating and tiring. So, I would urge people to minimise it. And look, January, good time to do it. We've all been drinking too much in December. It's time.
All right. Well, look, how can people find out more about the Body Project?
Oh, they can log on to bodyproject.ie, and actually I've got a special page on for your listeners today. It's basically just giving top nutrition tips, exercise tips for the new year and staying on track this new year, because of course we all want to really achieve these goals this time. And also a downloadable form just for people to log their diet and also their activity. And that's a really useful tool. I get all my clients to do it, and it really keeps people on track in what they're doing. It makes you very accountable and very aware of what you're doing.
Gillian Hynes, thank you very much. The director of the Body Project, as you said, bodyproject.ie, and as we have learned over the last 10 minutes, somebody with the patience of a saint.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.